Welcome everybody, I'm Fabio Viviani and you're watching Fabio's Kitchen, where every week we'll bring you an amazing dish made by me. Hello everyone, today on Fabio's Kitchen, a very easy, tasty dish. Salmon, yes, a proper piece of cooked salmon with some really mean cream spinach. Who doesn't like cream spinach? It's a steakhouse favorite and is a creamy dish that also will get your kids to eat a lot of veggies, all right? So the problem with the proper cream spinach is that most of the time, the spinach itself is very watery or is not very creamy. So today we're gonna show you how to properly prepare the perfect cream spinach, all right? Next, we're gonna season our salmon and we're gonna perfectly cook it with a fantastic crispy skin, which there's a little technique there as well. Let's get it going. First and foremost, I am heating up my pan. They need to be really nice and hot. I'm adding a little bit of oil here. Then, I'm going to season my salmon with a little bit of salt. And then I'll turn it. There is a way of doing this in which the skin will be perfect and never come out from the actual salmon. I suggest you to add seasoning on the skin as well. Simply why? Seasoning, although very light, is still some edge between the actual skin and the pan. This will prevent your salmon from actually sticking to the pan. Skin down and cook. Skin down and cook. Skin down first, all right? Now, we let it there. Don't touch it, don't move it, don't wiggle it, leave it there. Next things, we gotta cook the spinach before we bother them up, before we dress them up with our creamy goodies, all right? So, first of all, I wanna give the spinach a quick saute in a very hot pan with no oil and no butter. It doesn't seem much is happening there, but the reality is that this big bowl of spinach, like that, will reduce down to nothing. Salt and a little pepper. In order to flavor my salmon, I want to do two things. First, I want to put a little rosemary in it, just like that, just to have the rosemary kind of flavoring the very little oil I have used for my salmon, all right? Just like that. Second of all, I want to create a brush, almost like a wet paint, made out of garlic powder, chopped rosemary, olive oil, salt and pepper. These will be barely brushed on top of the salmon. Now, when we talk about salmon, farm-raised salmon, not very good. Mostly of the dyes that they're eating, they color the flesh too red. If you can find salmon for yourself, please try to pick anything that is wild-caught or organic, not farm-raised salmon. It's also a little fattier, tastier, and overall really good for you. Now, do you see how this spinach already reduced? Look at that. Now I'm going to turn this for a perfectly proper cooked skin. Look at that. Salmon is not red in color, it's light pinkish. And it gets the color naturally from the diet that the salmon has naturally in rivers and oceans. Now I'm using some wine to deglaze the pan. If you notice, I have put the wine in between salmon because I want my skin to still be nice and crisp. Now I'm going to shut that off and I'm going to let that reduce. The wine will reduce with the heat of the pan, the skin is crisp, and the salmon will cook with the steam. Look at this. You see that? There is barely any left there. Now check this out. Proper cream spinach. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil. And I'm getting ready. Cream, cheese. Oops. You can have it grated, you can have it shave it, doesn't matter. All right. First and foremost, we're going to add cream around the edges of the spinach. The goal is to have the cream boil. Look at that. Let it boil, don't touch it, let it be. Then I'm adding cheese on the edges like that. Get the spinach front and center, let that get nice and creamy. Bad spinach sometimes gets a bad rap because they're watery, they're not very flavorful, they're not really good. If you follow this step to really reduce and dry the spinach on a live fire, and then add the cream on the edges and the cheese there, you're gonna have a killer sauce. This is not your grandma's spinach. This is like the level of, this is like your grandma's spinach is like right here, it's like down here, and my spinach is like right up there. You understand that? That's the reality. So this is the perfect cream spinach. We're almost ready here. Look at this cream spinach. What did I tell you? Do they look creamy to you? Right? Yes? Properly creamed spinach, salmon with the skin. Look how beautiful the salmon is. Fantastic. Proper cream spinach, cheesy, buttery, no butter though, creamy, because we have reduced the cream and the cheese together. The spinach are not watering. There is no water in this dish. The salmon, perfectly seasoned. The skin, look at the skin. Listen. Listen. Ready for this? Listen how crispy the skin is. You hear that? Can you hear it? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm awesome. Skin is nice and crisp. Beautiful, creamy dish. Presentation is amazing. Another killer one from Fabio's Kitchen.